It's midnight. I have to get to the studio.
From Philadelphia, it's the only original late-night television show in town. Get ready for Raw Reality with Gail Kasper.
Good evening and welcome to the premiere of Raw Reality, the only original late-night television show in Philadelphia that shows you how to laugh at life no matter how bad it gets. Even I'm not allowed to get serious. That's big. And if anyone does get serious during the show, they'll hear this. That's right, no serious allowed. So if you're looking for hardcore steps to improve your life, it's not here. If you're looking for a rah-rah motivational speaker, also not here. I can't stand them. I know, I am a motivational speaker, but that's besides the point. I have screwed up my life in more ways than I can count, and I promise to share all of them with you during our season. So each week, we'll talk about some crazy, sometimes challenging element of life and make fun of it. And to keep me on track, I've got the best comedians and experts joining me, otherwise known as the Raw Reality Odd Squad. Yeah, this is what I'll be dealing with. Tonight's topic, kids, do you love them or hate them? Maybe both. I think kids have too much power. Where else in life will people jump for you? I mean, if I cry like a baby, there's no cuddling. I get told to stop whining. If I'm hungry, I get told to get off my ass to get something to eat. There's no one bringing me my mac and cheese. And if I were to crap my pants, there certainly wouldn't be people fighting over who was going to change me. At least not normal people. Yep, kids are taking over the world. A girl named KK Gregory was 10 when she invented Wristies, a product that took off with her Girl Scout troop. Another kid named Richie Stokowski was a corporate founder and president by age 13 with a product called Water Talkies. Kids are powerful. I was never so appalled at a recent meeting with a client for a speaking engagement. Here's what happened. I'm really excited to talk to you about speaking at your conference. Carry the 1, 42.
Aren't you the one who took my parking space?
Was that your bicycle? I didn't mean to run it over. I just didn't see it when I pulled into the spot.
Your sales training resume is very good. I'm going to have Sally, my VP of Sales, join us.
Great.
Hi, Sally. This is Gail, the speaker we're talking to for the conference. Hi, nice to meet you. Maggie, we don't need a speaker for the conference.
What? You don't need a speaker for the conference? That's not fair. But you hired a speaker before. That's not fair. I want to be the speaker for the conference. I want to be the speaker for the conference. I want to be the speaker for the conference. Oh.
What a baby.
There is nothing worse than being rejected by a 10-year-old. Kids, so do you love them or hate them? Tweet with me during the show at Gail Kasper Fans. Let's meet tonight's Odd Squad. He'll be at Bananas Comedy Club August 16th and 17th in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, the co-host of the Rabbit Hole Comedy Show at the Legion Bar in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, New York on August 20th, Anton Shuford.
How you doing?
And comedian and host of the Captain Action Comedy Show in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania, Sydney Gant. Go to rawrealitywithgailkasper.com for details and contact information on all of our guests. All right, Anton. So tell me, what are your thoughts on kids?
I can tell you right now they're not positive. I don't like them. They're always in places they shouldn't be, like near me. It's pretty much how I feel about kids.
Yeah, so in other words, there's no foreplay on this show, right?
No.
You're going to go straight down to it.
No. I mean, I don't have kids, and that's a positive in my life. I got that going for me. So.
All right, now we got an alternate perspective here. Sydney, I know you have a son. You were there for the birth of your son. That's a wonderful thing.
Yes. It is a wonderful thing if you want to go from being a person who doesn't understand what goes on below a woman's waist to being a person who is terrified of what goes on below a woman's waist. So yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I had a chance to take some pictures during the whole event, so I understand.
I did, but those are not disclosed. Those pictures are not disclosed.
So tell me, Anton, I'm going to ask you this first. In terms of kids, how do you think they've changed over the past 10 years?
Oh, how do I think kids have changed over the past 10 years? Well, they certainly got more annoying. And I mean, when I say that, maybe it's because I'm getting older that I can't wait to be an old guy and I can just yell at kids, get off my lawn. You know, I can't wait for that. But I feel like kids are more entitled now than they've ever been before.
Okay. Yeah. And how about yourself, Sydney?
No, I agree with what Anton was saying, is that kids are more entitled, but they have to work less for everything that they get. Like, they don't do anything, and they think they deserve everything.
Yeah, and it's funny because our whole topic today is about being entitled, how parents aren't making demands, they're asking questions like, would you mind cleaning your room? What would you like to have for dinner? Did you get those options when you were kids?
I had no options as a kid. I didn't even have an option to be a kid. As soon as I was out, my dad was always talking about if I wanted this to eat, I needed to get a job, or you don't have no money, we don't, you know, stuff like that. So.
All right, well, what do you think, too, about restrictions? Movie theaters, restaurants, should there be restrictions? I hate to ask you, Anton, because I think I know what the answer is, but...
Kids shouldn't be in movie theaters. If you pay $15 for a movie theater and popcorn, and you go see, say, a movie, an adult movie, I don't know, any movie, name any movie that could be, like Polar Express, I went to go see one Christmas. Bunch of kids in there ruining it for me.
Ruin it for you. All right, there's a website, leavethembehind.com. It's a travel website for kid-free vacations. Part of its slogan is leave your stresses behind.
Yeah. You have kids. Do you feel like kids stress you out?
Well, no, I mean, I don't know if my son stresses me out as much as...
Well, you seem more unpleasant to me as our friendship had since you had a kid. So.
Yeah, no, because I have a better friend now.
Well, here's the deal, though, because there are good stresses and there are bad stresses, right? I mean, I have two basset hounds, they can be a stress, but
right.
I mean, I would never be like to my little boys, come here, my little boys, my little stresses, come to mommy. I'd never do that.
Well, they need to know where they stand in your life. So if your kid is a little bit of a stressful handful, I mean, they should know. Like, just like if you take a kid to the movies and they get yelled at for being loud, I mean, they should know that's how the world works.
All right, well, I got one quick story here. According to GulfNews.com, one New Hampshire couple does not send their 4 children to school. They don't have to study. They can eat what they want. They don't have to brush their teeth if they don't want to. Mm-hmm. Do anything they want. That's okay?
If that's your style of parenting, just I mean, you're holding your kids accountable, so they can't be around someone like me in the movie theater doing what they want, because if you're not going to hold them accountable, I'm going to have to hold them accountable by asking them to be quiet.
Let's take a quick look at what that kid is going to look like when they grow up. There you go. All right, we'll be right back in a moment. We've got an expert coming on board. Let's see how they mix with the Odd Squad. Welcome back to Raw Reality. With us is licensed clinical social worker and therapist, Hillary Katz. So today's all about kids, love them or hate them. We hear kids are entitled. Hillary, I want to hear from you. I want to remind all of you, tweet with me, at Gail Kasper fans. I'll be tweeting during the show. So Hillary, are kids entitled today?
Absolutely. I think that parents have shifted from a mentality of, instead of discipline, an earning mentality. So actually, like what Anton was saying before, they're less accountable. Things like brushing their teeth, they're earning a star for, as opposed to just being expected to do so.
You know, I think that should be the opposite. I think as you get older, when you've been through so much, you should get stars and rewards for brushing your teeth and everything.
Absolutely.
I think you should switch it out, completely switch it out. So how did this happen?
Well, I think that reward charts in general are something that are used more. with child clinicians and even in classrooms. But what was once meant to kind of structure a home is now being used to do basic things like make your bed, or we used to have allowance, and now it's a daily star chart. So I think there's a shift. They went the complete opposite extreme in terms of parenting, and so here we are.
Okay, all right. So, and you mentioned something about failing, and it's important for kids to fail in life.
Absolutely. I think that's the other main issue, is that parents are having a hard time allowing their kids to fail.
I often push kids off of bicycles for that reason.
That's actually important, but
Yeah.
the key is not the push part, but how they respond. That's the main piece.
I make sure
And
they
I
cry.
agree with that.
Thank you.
Because I know that my parents, they, really allowed me to fail. I took the bull by the horns, ran out there and did what I needed to do to push forward with life. So, all right, so let's find out, what do you think parents are doing right?
Well, I think that they're definitely more cognizant of activities and the fact that they don't have to be so gender specific, that boys and girls can do all different kinds of activities. It used to be boys automatically were signed up for soccer and girls were automatically signed up for ballet. Now there seems to be more of a variety and appreciation for diversity in their children.
All right, I got to bring Anton into this. What do you think parents are doing right?
Nothing. I don't think parents are doing any. Well, I think parents are doing everything
You're
wrong.
adding this. You're
wrong.
making this to a very controversial show. That's really good.
No,
I'm not gonna
listen.
I'm not going to complain about that.
I've never seen one parent with kids doing anything right. Every now and then I'll see kids on the subway. They'll be running up and down the subway with juice, and I'm always wearing a light colored shirt, and I'm like, why don't they make that kid sit down?
Yeah. Sydney, what about you? What do you think parents are doing right?
Oh, I think everything that I'm doing is absolutely correct. So, being on Raw Reality with Gail Kasper, I think more parents should be doing that. I also, I do let my kid fail as much as possible. I let him climb up to the highest spots he can and see if he can get down. Like, that's just one of the things that I like to do.
All right, I got a story here for you, and this is a study that was conducted by the University of California, reported in February 2013 in the American Sociological Review, that the more money parents spent on their child's college education, the worse grades the child earns. I mean, I think that makes sense, honestly, because college is a 4-year vacation. So the better the college, the nicer the vacation.
Well, I think that one of the problems is that if you're raising children to with entitlement issues when they get to college, where they're kind of shoved out on their own, there's a lack of flexibility. They have to adapt to schedules. I mean, that's not possible if they have to be at a bar at a certain time, and then that means classes can't start until 2 in the afternoon. I mean, it's just suddenly they're in the world, and I think that is kind of reflective of part of the problem. So they're in these great schools, but
exactly.
they're failing.
I also think that when kids don't fail enough as children, they don't learn how to properly cheat in college. And what I mean by that is, gather the information with other students and find out what's going to be on that test.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to be a problem solver. That's important in life.
Problem solver test. All right, Cindy, I'm going to run this by you. This one specific scenario. Teacher had enough, put a bad kid in what she called a monster closet. What do you think about that?
I think they should actually put monsters in that closet so that there will be consequence. You can't give a kid a punishment like that and not actually have a monster in the closet. It means nothing, and that's the problem with kids now. None of the discipline means anything because, we want kids to feel like they're all superstars and winners anyway. So, put kids in more closets and make sure they know that there are consequences for their stupid actions.
Well, and I thought the other side of this. I mean, what happened that teacher had enough? Were they throwing knives? You know what I mean? Like, I would never want to put a kid in a closet.
What constitutes? That's the problem with discipline anyway. It's like if you don't discipline a person for 7 days straight, and on the 8th day they do something, and then you throw them in the closet. That doesn't make that kid a bad kid. That makes you a bad parent.
There you go.
And bad parents make bad kids. And so.
All right, hold that thought. We'll be right back with Pass and Fail with Gail. Welcome back. This is Pass or Fail with Gail. I'm going to ask each member of our Odd Squad to grade how a parent handled a situation with a pass or fail. They're going to write their response on the paddle. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
All right, here's your first scenario. A son was smart, had natural athletic ability, and was accepted into the Air Force officer training program. One night he called his dad and begged his father to get him out of the program. He said, "This is hell. I'm up in the middle of the night. There's too much pressure." The father almost gave in, but instead said, "You're smart, you're a great athlete, and I'm getting a call from a quitter." He said, "I want you to stick it out and try your hardest." All right, decide, pass or fail with Gail. And I'm going to ask all of you, tweet with me, at Gail Kasper fans. What do you think? Is this a pass? Is this a fail? We're going to start off with our expert. Hillary, what do you think?
Absolutely pass.
And why? Quick response.
Push it out. Don't quit. Perseverance, determination, accountability.
Anton.
I'm going to say fail. And my reason for saying fail is because as a parent, he should have told him it's his decision. He has to live with it, and then let him make a decision.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm
Sydney.
going to also go with fail because this kid is an adult now and shouldn't be going to another grown man to ask how to live his life. So.
All right, well, we're going to be split down the middle because I'm giving it a pass. I'm all about resilience, pushing, taking a risk, unless, of course, there was some type of physical issue that would stop him from being able to push forward. So I got my vote counts the strongest. This is
yeah?
50%, 51%, you're 49%.
And you have the expert on your side.
That's that. Next, moving on. All right, this next story I ask you to keep in mind that this happened in the 50s. So let's assume that this safety is not an issue. A mother wanted to help her 4-year-old son develop independence. Again, 4-year-old son. So she'd stop her car a few miles from home and make her son find his way home. Decide, pass or fail. All of you, again, tweet with me, at Gail Kasper fans. You think this should be a pass or fail situation? Let's start off with our expert. What do you think?
Fail. I think it's totally unnecessary. It's about positive encouragement, and then if they're struggling, to push them to keep on keeping on and see how they do. I think that's ridiculous. So fail.
Okay.
I'm going to go with pass. This is a win-win situation.
Yeah.
He makes it home, you win. He doesn't make it home, you win. Win-win situation.
Definitely a pass because it's actions like that that lead people from the 50s to later on invent things like GPS and iPhones. So, I definitely think it's a pass.
Okay. All right, you know what? I'm going to agree. I like the idea of, allowing your kid to figure out how to get to a certain place, the resilience element of it. I like that too. I would probably have a tendency to watch as he was walking home to make sure that he got home. Okay, all right, so, pass. But just so you know, that was Richard Branson, Virgin Airlines.
Yeah.
But he probably didn't, there you go. He did invent something really good.
Wow.
All right, another situation, I'm going to give this one to you real quick. One kid was stealing things, took another kid's toothbrush at school. Father found out, took him down to the police department and said, "Really sorry, but we're going to have to do without you for a while." What do you think, a pass or fail situation?
Gosh, that's a tough one. I think it's a little bit harsh, but creative. I'm going to say pass.
Okay.
I'm going to say pass just because, he took his son to a jail. He let him know there were consequences for his actions. And those are the consequences you will deal with in life if you get caught stealing.
Yeah, it's a scary situation. Kid was scared. All right, Sydney.
I'm gonna go with fail because snitches get stitches, and you can't be teaching your kids how to snitch. It's just.
But ironically, police officer also asked, "What else did you take?" And apparently he had taken $20 out of his mom's purse that the dad didn't even know anything about. So I give that a pass, as long as they didn't leave him there. I think that's the big thing.
I give what the kid said a fail because he talked himself out of $20. And I do not like that.
Because he had to give it back. All right, so in summary, what can we do moving forward? How can we improve as parents?
I think decrease rewards, increase expectations, and encourage perseverance.
Okay, how about yourself, Anton? What do you think? Where can we improve?
I don't think we can improve. We live in a world where there's too much information outside of the home that a kid has access to, so we need to try to let kids grow up a little bit quicker, I think. We're gonna have to get used to that.
Okay, and Sydney?
Yeah, I just think we should really just try to model everything we do with our children after me. So just take a lot of pictures of your kid, put them on Facebook, have other people like them, and then you're a good parent.
Yeah.
And I think if we're all working on ourselves, I won't get serious. All right, I'm going to take us to a break. And thank you, Hillary. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back right after this. Tonight was all about kids, love them or hate them. And the raw reality is that every relationship has a love-hate element, and that acting in the best interest of our kids doesn't always mean giving in. To get to peace, sometimes you have to make the tough choices. And when all else fails, take them to an amusement park and accidentally take your eyes off them for a minute. For more tips on kid management, visit our website. Next week, your bad boss stories. Tell us your stories. What made them a bad boss? We're also asking viewers to draw a picture of their bad boss and post it on our Facebook page. You'll find all the information on our website, rawrealitywithgailkasper.com. I have a sample here of my bad boss. I call her Face Vomit. And I have asked Anton and Sydney here to draw a picture of their bad boss. Anton, give me a quick snapshot.
Yeah, this guy would yell at us after lunch, and he always had bad breath, and that made him a bad boss.
Yeah, this guy would steal money from his employees in a way that he tried to get you to thank him for it.
There you go. All right, we'll post these on our Facebook page. Make sure you tune in next week for My Bad Boss Story. Thanks to our sponsor, GetMainLobster.com, this week's Odd Squad, the entire team here at WMCN, and all of you for joining us. We'll see you next week, next Wednesday night, midnight, right here. Have a great week, everybody.